Hey guys, this is Crap Hunter and welcome back to War Thunder. Today I'm going to be doing a kind of revamp episode because I cocked up the last first impressions video, and basically I kind of just sounded like I was a whiny person, and I looked at the footage and at the time I thought it was okay, it was fine, I was like, ah yeah, it'll be fine, no problem. But then I realised it just made me sound like I was a whiny little cow. So I decided to redo it and revamp it, and now I'm going to kind of hopefully rectify the situation by perhaps listing some of the features that I forgot to mention. I mean, I didn't like completely make up some of the stuff. There is a British vampire in the British research tech tree. There is the Americans still have the Panther, the Shooting Star, and the F8F, but I missed out a couple of fighters, and I didn't perhaps look at the I didn't look at the I didn't look at the other techie stuff as perhaps much as I should have. I mean, I've been used to doing it on World of Tanks, where stuff like ammunition consumption and less stuff like that can potentially change how the guns work. So, in short, I didn't really cover all of the more important aspects of the patch. So, mainly what I'm going to do is I'm going to list through some of the planes that I didn't mention before, talk about the upgrade system in a better detail, so that way you can understand that way people can have a better understanding of it, and hopefully we'll have a game, and I'll probably rant about a couple of things whilst I attempt to shoot stuff down or be shot down myself. So what we'll do first is we'll look at the planes. So I listed pretty much all of the Americans except a couple of things. First of which, a recent change in a tiny mini patch meant now that a few of the bombers are going to be lower down in the list. I believe it's the B-25s on that one. And I believe some of the B-17s I think are still at the same level, but I think it's more the B-25s are lower down in the list, which kind of makes a lot more sense now. Also, I forgot to mention that there was another P-47 Thunderbolt. Now, this is the latest variant. This is the P-47D-28. Basically, a little bit more upgraded, a little bit faster perhaps, a little bit better armed, who knows. But has a different camo to it and different style to it. I'll be honest with you, my World War II knowledge of planes is absolutely god-awful. All I know is what they look like and which nation they're from. My personal preference with a P-47. Access though, my favourite World War II plane, you may be shocked, if we had to bar England from the argument, would be this fighter here, the P-47D. Now I know you've got your American M51 Mustangs, but you know, okay, it's nice and sleek and okay, but this thing actually works really well. I mean, I like it. It looks like a beast. You know, you've got heavy machine guns on all sides. I mean, like an organ. You know, how awesome is that? It's also really reliable because you've got you can use rockets, you can use bombs, you can use quite heavy bombs, and it's just generally one of those all-purpose fighters. And okay, it's not as sleek as fast, and their P-51 had an advantage when you have the British Merlin engine, but we won't go into that because I imagine a fair amount of Americans will be not too happy. But yeah, I really like the P-47, and I think it's a very useful and reliable aircraft. You know, and plus it's at tier 9, which is much better than the P-51, which is all at tier like 13. And they say that tier 9 is the best tiering in this game. So, well, hey. Okay, so that's all the American fighters that I missed, which was only one, which isn't too bad. I missed a couple of Russian ones, one of which was kind of screaming out at me. The other two are kind of a little bit hidden, in the sense that I have no idea what they are. First of which is the Yak-17. This is the one I didn't pay attention to, and I probably should have. But that said, I'm now looking at it, I probably wish I hadn't paid attention to the patch notes, because this thing looks rather ghastly. Yeah, clearly when they got the German scientists to redesign the jet planes, they probably found the litter of the lot, because damn, that thing is ugly. There's the engine as well. Look at that. Ugh. Okay, mock it if you will, but this thing does have one perk. It's armament. It is armed with two 20mm cannons. Well, 23mm cannon. And considering this is a jet, this is probably going to do a lot of damage to you. Just probably doesn't expect too much in return. So, yeah. Powerful. But ugly. Also, we have the Yak 9K, which is there. That's still about, which is unfortunate, but whatever. There, that's at tier 9, so I'm going to have to worry about that thing. These are the two lags I think they introduced, because when I say I think, basically when I was looking at the patch notes, they said lag 8 series and lag 11 series. So unfortunately, it didn't tell me which specific number of planes it was. I'm going to assume that... right, here we go. Okay, it's now answered that question. It wasn't these two. I thought it was, but it isn't. It is now these two. So this is the lag 8 series, which is actually at lower tier. So let's have a look. So there it is. There's the lag. It's probably the first Russian lag, actually. It's at tier 3 now, so I think so you can get a lag at a further series. So it's armed with one 20mm cannon and one 50mm machine gun. 50 cal machine gun, almost need to say. And the lag 11 series, which is also at tier 3, so you have the ability of choosing both planes, which is quite nice. That one has probably the same armament, but it has its own very special decal. Sorry. It also has the same one machine gun, one cannon, both of which are the same. So there you go. There's the Russian series. I finally figured out what those was. I actually made a recording previously, and I thought those were the new planes. Oh, what a fail! So yeah, there's the new Russian planes, which I didn't spot. Because, you know, my knowledge of World War II Russia is terrible, barring what tanks and guns they used. And that's about it for the new planes. Now, what they've actually got, though, for the name of the upgrading system, actually incorporates something of a realistic aspect to World War II. Now, when, during the Second World War, people were given planes, like a squadron of planes, or like a new fighter squadron, they wouldn't be given brand spanking new planes. They would be given older planes, probably pre-used, used before perhaps the war, or used by another squadron, and the poor bastard who flew it beforehand died. So you got his plane. Lucky you. And so what the whole point of this plane means now is that you basically start with a rather runty plane. Like, for example, this one, I've only just started with it, and I have now got to, in a sense, earn the ability to get myself all of the things that will make my plane better. So, for example, at the moment, all I've got is 6 50 cal machine guns. I've got an ability to have bombs, and if I wanted to, I can actually get better and bigger bombs, but I still need to research it, because obviously this thing's kind of a used plane. And I have the ability to upgrade my tank per plane. Now, for any of you who may have played World of Tanks, this is pretty much the same thing, and it's pretty much the same thing. And if you haven't played World of Tanks utilizes the same aspect, where you get a tank which, okay, isn't used, but it's not very good unless you upgrade it fully. So, for example, this plane will probably be a lot better once I've upgraded it, which in a sense makes a lot more, which actually makes it a little bit more historically accurate, and also makes it seem a bit nicer than it did previously. So now I'm understanding that. That seems cool. Now I'm going to talk about the complaint side of things, which I may have mentioned a bit beforehand, but probably not to the nth degree. Now previously, I did talk about that there was a bit of a controversy over this, because for some people out there who have the ability to have no patience whatsoever, they can find themselves... that's gutting. They can find themselves... they can actually buy themselves all of the upgrades if they want to spend the money. So, for example, if I had the ability to, I could buy probably all of these upgrades, and I wouldn't have to actually play through the... I wouldn't actually have to play the plane, in a sense, in order to enjoy these upgrades. All I'd have to do is just get my wallet out, buy some, get some gold, use it on this, Bob's your uncle sorted. I now have the most advanced, or the proper plane for this thing. Which, you know, for some people, they really don't like it, because obviously this presents a really big, nasty advantage. Which is, in fairness, okay, you have a point, you know. You can potentially get killed faster by a fully upgraded plane. And what makes matters worse is when you've got planes like the BF-109, because another little upgrade that they had for, say, the BF-109. Let me have a look. See, let's just put this on this perspective. So weapons, if we can have it. There you go. Where is it? Does it have the ability, or does it? No, not this one. But I know there's another BF-109 that does utilize this upgrade. Where is it? There you go. I think this is it. That looks like a gun. Some of the BF-109 fighters out there can actually swap their secondary weapons, like for their bomb load, and replace them with 30 cal machine guns. So now you basically add more firepower to your plane. And I think it may also utilize it on this one as well, the higher tier. Oop. Yep, once again, you have the ability to upgrade your plane and give it a lot more welly, giving the enemy a lot more hell. Once again, do we have the same thing? No, actually not in this one, but that said, they're probably a lot better. So, as you can see, oh my god, that's a lot of firepower. Oh, there you go, there you go, you can get it, yeah, so you can actually upgrade the plane and give it more guns. So, if you're a person who has lots of money, you can actually utilize this and instantly get 30 caliber machine guns. Now there is a downside to this. You may not be able to turn as fast, you may be more vulnerable, a variety of things, but you still have the ability to shoot down planes within one burst. And obviously a fair amount of people are finding that a bit annoying. So how Gaijin are going to worry about this, I don't know, but they're trying to be as historically accurate as possible. So if they did have them, they did have them. It doesn't matter. All's fair in love of war. Another little upgrade that I actually forgot to mention was the fact, well, two. One of which applies more to the Americans, one of which just applies to everyone, which is cannon. Well, I'll talk about machine guns and cannon. Now, when I was talking about the machine guns and cannon, I actually thought at the time that it was just the cannon players who got themselves upgraded. Basically, cannon technology, at the time I thought, was being buffed. So the damage of a cannon shot was being buffed. And I thought, oh, that's a bit unfair. The machine guns still... Basically, at the time, I thought the machine guns could do bugger all, and the cannon would still be upgraded. And I found that really frustrating. But what I didn't realise was that they also upgraded the damage of the machine guns, and I really should have just shut up. So... because I realised that when I was playing in the Hurricane Mark II, or Nighthawk as I'm beginning to call her now, and I realised within 2 to 3 bursts my opponents were shredded in half. So I'm like, ah, they upgraded the machine guns as well. I'll shut up now. So yeah, there was one upgrade which was I shouldn't have paid too much attention to. It's a bit annoying, but that said, it's once again, Gaijin are trying to go for the realistic side, so people are probably going to complain, but it's how it was back then, so here you go. One thing that's been quite beneficial is in a recent, I think it's either in patch 1.33 or in a little mini patch, the accuracy of the 50 cal machine guns for American fighters, like this beauty here, have been increased or buffed. So now this thing is probably a lot more deadlier than it used to be, and I like that. So, without further ado, let us actually get into the fray and, oh cool, and get in there. Kind of wish I could, get the airframe fixed, but let's face it, not going to be that lucky. Now, it's going to be a standard, it's a domination match. I do like domination matches. I'm a lot better than, I don't mind ground destroyal. Destroyal? We were destroyal. I don't mind ground strike missions, but it feels like the game ends really quickly. Like, when you're in your prime, you're like, yeah, I'm doing really good, and then all of a sudden someone says, we are losing. And you realise that all your teammates have somehow been able to completely avoid the objective, and your opposing team is just simply flying around, picking off the remaining bits of your ground army. So... I like flying in my Honda. City. Oh yes, flaps. I need to remember these. I don't really know how to use flaps. I never used them when I was playing Combat Flight Simulator, and I still got kills, so... But that was when I was younger and dumber, so... I know flaps have something to do with turning, but that's about it. And so what do? I hide. Right, let's do a test. So this is when I'm turning normally. Not too bad. When I'm turning when I've got flaps open. So flaps combat. Oh, that's much, if not similar. Ooh, that's a lot quicker. I'll have them raised all the time. And if that means I can't turn as fast or I slower, I don't mind. I'm gonna die relatively soon anyhow. There's a Blenheim trying to land, and he will land. No one's going for the base, well, except one person. But now, of course... Okay, Blenheim is about to be shot down almost. Oh no, he's not. Right, there is him gone. IL-16, well, my new death. And you must die, you must die, you must die, you must die. Turn. I hate that thing, I really do. I mean, he's just shot down, I'm worth it, so I have to shoot him now. And you're gone. Right, any bad guys on my tail? No, let us go after that Blenheim. Is that how you say it? Blenheim? Blenheim. Blenheim. Ooh, I done a critical hit. I can get 2 kills. Probably not. Get an assist. And yeah, an assist. I said though, pretty good kill. I got a fair amount of damage to him. I guess I'm going to get that fixing of my hull now. Ah, awesome. An AM62. Or A6M2, I should have said. He is going to be fixing and capturing that hull, which means now that we don't have to worry as much. A lag or up there. Oh, hello. What is that? What is that? What is that? I don't know what it is. Oh, enemy at A. Someone at A. Oh, but there's someone already up there. Oh, there is someone up there. There is a lot of someone up there. What is that? What is that? Oh, of course I wouldn't be running there. Oh, that was close. I have no idea what that is, but it's not friendly. And nobody's watching. See, and there's a whole buttload of fighters going over there, so screw that for a pack of well-cooked chips. Okay, I'm going to go for this SBM2 because I'll have powder ammunition. La, 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 la. Oh, I like it when a plane does this. They get to do this. Don't you just... Ah, I'm being shot at. No, I'm being shot at by my allies. Thank you very much, allies, you dimwats. Extremely careful. Because then that happens, and you end up shooting down your own friend. God, I'm pissing through all this ammunition. And it's mine. That's quite surprising. And apparently there's also fighters. Right, okay, go. You've hacked off their fighters. Oh no! Oh no, it's a hurricane. Go for the hurricane. Ooh, hurricane. Damage. I will say one thing about the hurricane. Very good fighter, very resilient, amazing when it comes to shooting planes down. Very weak. It cannot take a punch. Literally, it takes but a few shots and it will suffer extremely heavy damage. I think the Japanese suffer this same problem. I'm just going to get the flaps off. See what happens then. Whilst I'm recuperating now. Once I upgrade this thing, it'll probably be a little bit better, but not by much. PEE-3, I'm going to go for that one, because that one's a lot closer. Oh no, so is the American bomber. Okay, there's a whole bunch of fighters that aren't friendly. That are friendly. Ooh, enemy gunner. I like it when that. It means free. Whenever an enemy gunner dies, it's basically like a dinner bell. Ah shit, I've just done that same thing to them. Right. duck and cover. Where are you? You are somewhere. Are you above me? No. Are you behind me? Yes. I've just spent too much time being on my own. He's turned away though. Okay, what's going on over there? Okay, there's a hurricane trying to come into land. I'm going to try and stop it. No, don't go for him. There's no one to support me, and I'm probably going to be shot at by the Spitfire. Double down. No chance. And I'm gone. Unfortunately, my time in the P40 is now over. Really frustrating, but no one was going to support, so I had to do something. Well, we are winning, so it's not like it's a major loss, but it's a bit frustrating when you're doing your best to hold the base, and all your allies are over there. They're like, we'll shoot this one bomber down, even though there's 6 or 3 enemy fighters that they could totally help you out with, but because there's that one bomber, they have to divert all attentions, because, you know, that bomber might have the miraculous nuclear bomb that everyone was talking about. Right, there you are, you little wild bastard. Zoom and zoom, fighter. Okay, Mr. Hurricane. Hey, I got the kill. Oh, actually, I feel sorry for that one, actually. I don't like it when things like that happen. There's a Spitfire. There's the prick who shot me down. Oh, bollocks. Don't go that way, you fat American pals. Stupid American fighters. Flaps, you help me? Where are you? There you are. And I've lost you. Ah! You... Hey, look. Thank you very much, arsehole. I had the ability to do well, and all you could do was to ram me with a fighter. Okay, so it would appear that one of our bases is going to be attacked, so I'll try and fly over there. We are going to win this one though, because none of their... Actually, I'm going to go for C, because that's where all the fighters are. How many kills have I got? I've only got 3, but I've lost 2 of my fighters. I will say, the Navy fighters in America are a lot better when it comes to actual combat than the American Army fighters. Like, the American Army fighters are like, yeah, we're American, you know, we're going to do good, we're going to fight. And then when they actually get into the fight, they're so fat and sluggish that the only thing they're probably good at is to take on enemy armoured vehicles. Frustrating them, that's about it, really. Ah, oh, come on, seriously, no kill? Damn it. I got points. And I got a fair amount of damage to the enemy team, so... Although that was a quick match, I will be honest with you. But still, good game. A victory is a victory, and I'm going to take them whenever they come. Ooh, I got 4 kills, so I did actually get that last kill, which is quite nice. I have now got a better radiator and a fuselage repair. So, now that I've upgraded my fighter, well, now that I've experienced on my fighter, now I can go into this area and buy a radiator. So now what I have is... I have a few more. I've got a few more kilometers to my maximum speed, and I have a lot better. I've got 1 more kilometer, and I've got a better ability to go further with my plane, which is quite nice. That is a fat bugger, though. Hang on, let me just have a look. See, how can I upgrade you? Probably would like that. So, that's about it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've appreciated it, and hopefully you can appreciate the fact, hopefully now with this new knowledge and the better, much more clearer version of this, that you guys will hopefully not mind so much the first half. And so now this is actually the full ending of the new patch 1.33, and next time I'll be a lot more aware and a lot more vigilant over what's new in these patches. So thank you very much for watching. If you like this kind of content, do let me know by clicking on the like button, commentating down it. If you're an experienced War Thunder pilot yourself and you've got some hints and tips to being able to be a good fighter pilot, if you have any idea what flaps do, because I don't, apart from help you turn, that's all I know. Anything like that, feel free to let me know by putting it in the comment section down below, or if you like my content enough to subscribe, thank you very much. I'll happily have the subscription. If you are interested in another kind of content, I do run also a World of Tanks series, so that's quite cool. I'm also running a Rome Total War and Spore series, so if you guys are at all interested in any of those other things, feel free to let me know, feel free to go over to the channel and have a little look-see. I've got like a fair amount of World of Tanks videos, and I hope you guys enjoy those ones. So thank you very much for watching. This is Crap Hunter signing out.